His endorsement of humble has driven L's wavelength of focus to the motion, and if you occur to be one of the human beings who don't aware who humble plant is or why his imprisonment has be such a concern spot, currently's the period to find out. Who is humble plant? / powerful, humble plant, complete behalf, Robert Meek Williams, is a 30-year-old rapper of Philadelphia. Same's top named for his opening LP, Ambition and Nightmares. He as well done headlines for multiple art and private feuds in some performers, largest especially Canada rapper Duck. He as well had a length relation in Nicki Minaj. Reasons he in prison, / strong the is a complex issue. You aware how in Les Miserables, Jean Valjean is shipped to jail for theft of bread of loaf, and ends up creature down there for 19 years since he tested to flee a few times and fought several guard, therefore widening his imprisonment and transfer it very unproportional to the unique criminality? Humble's supporters would type of compare it to how. In 2008, Humble was condemned on gun and narcotic extortion following he was detained for unlawfully transport a gun time walk to a Angle Keep. He was condemned to several months in jail, and was liberated previous in 5-year password. For such 5-year, Humble was condemned of several password violations, largest of that came while he unsuccessful to paper his journey plans to the magistrate presiding officer above his instance. He was vigorously work as an compare for such year. In 2014, he went behind to jail for 5 months for such a infringement, following that his magistrate restored his internship. In March 2017, he was detained following creature implicated in a struggle at a St. Louis airport. In August of 2017, he was detained once again in New York for foolish threat for pop-up wheelies on his mud bicycle and not tiring a hat. Why are human beings frustrated on it? / powerful his imprisonment has garnered critique of comrade artists, athletes and race judiciary activists. In their eyes, Humble's instance is more than on comparison judiciary rather than it is on his factual verdict or penal story. It represents the crossroad of several distress points associated to racing, toleration of police force abuse, massive imprisonment and subjective in the penal judiciary framework. On top of it all, down there are several trimming of testimony how propose his instance, all 9 year of it, hasn't been processed correctly. Humble's, disappointed, very disappointed and no same's creature purified various rather than nobody else, Taco Pina told in a telephone interviewing. If his behalf was John Blacksmith, he wouldn't be in prison and he surely wouldn't be on internship. In November 2017, Jay Birdsey, who is really shut to the raper, written an Operation Ed for the New York Times summing up the issues suggest include in Humble's instance. On the shallow, the Macy love the history of yet else penal raper who didn't smarten up and is behind wherever he begun, he wrote. Yet believe the Humble was about 19 while he was condemned on extortion regarding to narcotic and gun ownership, and he serviced an 8-month same's 30, so he has been on internship for mainly his whole age lifetime. For on a 10 years, same's been stalked by a framework how considers the slightest violation a justify for closing him behind within. Which are human beings proverb on it. / powerful same's and wonderful youthful person, Kraft Paper told at a news story meeting following his trip. I aware how I'd sense if I was in the position he is. Each period I see him, I fair go off more than amazed. Same's really smart. And makes it precise to me we include to do thing in penal judiciary reformation. Kraft Paper added how Humble really be in jail. There is which some artists, athletes and activists include told on Humble's position. I see you got the complimentary Humble Plant t-shirt, he told. Complimentary Humble Plant 2-person, for actual. You law. Which happens following. / powerful I say dong ti sha me no compassion since the is my lifetime, he said Holt. The is which I'm departure via and I believe God put me in the stance to be capable to do a Shaw in Lester Holt and outdoor up eyes for some youthful dark men. On April 16, suggest will gathering at the Philadelphia Penal Judiciary Center in a urge for penal judiciary reformation.